Another week of Beyond the Gates is in the books, and while today's Friday episode was not as good as the last two Friday episodes, I did enjoy it for the most part, except for one storyline that I'm never gonna like. But before we get to that, let's talk about some of the stuff I did like from the episode. We'll start with Dani, I guess. She was up to her nonsense yet again. She knows Bill and Haley on a honeymoon. I still wish the show would have gone the route of her trying to ruin their honeymoon. Like, take it to that extra campy level. I think I would that. That would have been more entertaining for me overall. But instead, she knows they're out on their honeymoon, so she goes to their house with a big old gift and it convinces a security guard because, of course, the Duprees. Everyone knows the Duprees. And she talks him into letting her into Bill and Haley's house while they're away, gives her the security code and all that. So he should have a firing in his future if Bill is an attorney and whatnot, a lawyer. She goes inside and starts drinking. We're seeing her depicted as an alcoholic. I think sometimes she's been drinking a lot this week in particular, but we've seen it in past weeks as well. And I kind of hope they continue to go down that route. They either need to flesh out her mental issues that she has going on, because she does have some going on, or she needs to be an alcoholic or something. Because she's done a lot over these first 3 weeks, and she's obsessed with the whole Billy and Haley situation. And this time going into their house, drinking some special champagne of Bill's that was supposed to be for her or something. I don't know, I kind of missed that part of the episode. But also broke a picture of Bill and Haley, the newlyweds. But then Bill and Haley are on their way home, and Dani, if she's not an alcoholic, I mean, nobody just downs a bottle of champagne like she did. Downed it so fast that she passed out on the couch while they're about to come home and probably find her there. So that'll be an interesting confrontation for Monday, probably. That was the Friday cliffhanger. Definitely the weakest cliffhanger thus far on the show, but not every week's going to be able to be a big old cliffhanger unless you're really speeding through storylines, which I don't want. I will say next week there's only 3 episodes because of March Madness, so Wednesday will be the last episode next week. Hope they give us something bigger as a cliffhanger for that episode on Wednesday compared to today. The most interesting thing today for me, though, was Kat. Kat had her date with Thomas. Thomas is the man that works for Bill at his office, who Bill left in charge while he went on his honeymoon. And the actor needs some room to grow. I think he is wooden for sure. I would say that the actor that plays Martin is even better than he is, which is saying a lot. But I'm trying to give all these newbies to soaps and kind of acting in general a pass and give them room to grow. I tried to be nice to the actor that played Martin yesterday, so I'll be nice to Thomas today. He wasn't completely bad. I think he and Kat have a little bit of chemistry, especially compared to some other things that were on today. The biggest thing to come out of this is that Kat told Thomas that she is a virgin. And I like that of Kat. I like the difference between her and Chelsea, who are these bestie cousins, where Kat is a virgin and they have depicted Chelsea as someone who likes to get around and sleep with people, sleep with couples even. But it fits their characters. Kat is very much uptight. And it's no surprise that she is a virgin. But it's nice to have characters that talk about their sexuality, talk about sex in general. It's something missing from soaps these days, in my opinion. So it's nice to see that. And I think it fits Kat's character, where it fits Chelsea's character as well. She's definitely more open and go with the flow. So it's no surprise that her sex life is the way it is, while Kat's is the way it is. Kat's saying to Thomas that she just hasn't found Mr. Right yet. And I'm not convinced that Thomas is Mr. Right. Like I said, they have a little bit of chemistry. They look good together. Kat looked great on her date with Thomas. I like the fact that it's diverse of a couple. You know, Thomas is Latino, so that's nice too. But I'm not sold yet on them as a couple. They have a little spark. The actor that plays Thomas needs some improvement, and we know nothing about him. If they paint it as a good slow burn between the two of them, I can be sold. But I'm not sold yet. And what I'm kind of hoping is that Eva starts to come into a thing with Thomas. If I think that could be a route they go. That could be in more interesting love triangles than the other one we got going on, because the Eva and Kat rivalry is definitely building up to be one of the most entertaining parts of the show, at least for me. I think so. So adding that dynamic could be interesting. We'll see if that is where they end up going. Before we get to the other triangle, let me see if I'm forgetting anything else from this episode. Not really. I mean, there was a family dinner at the Duprees that Anita and Vernon were throwing that Nicole attended, and Dani couldn't attend because she had business, but she really went to Bill and Haley's. The other part of today was, unfortunately, the Derek, Ashley, Andre triangle, which is just not going to sell me. I'm not enjoying any part of this. It is quickly becoming the part of the show I might start fast forwarding. I am no stranger to fast forwarding soap operas. So far, 15 episodes in, it's a big feat that I haven't fast forwarded anything on this show so far. Can't say the same for any other soap opera I've watched over the past 2 decades. It's been a long time since a soap opera has just made me want to watch every part of every episode. But unfortunately, this triangle is veering into that territory. Derek, I've given shit to the Martin actor and to the actor that plays Thomas now, but the actor that plays Derek might be the worst. And I don't know if they're going for it. Derek has a concussion and that's changing him, and he's going to become maybe a less nicer man than we've saw so far. But if that is the case, I don't see any change in Derek. Like, I felt like they were alluding to that in this episode, but I didn't see it playing out on screen with Derek. So that's unfortunate. And then Ashley gets mad at him because he saved a cat when a roof was collapsing last minute. Some old woman came in to thank him for saving her cat. I mean, and I agree with Derek. He was just doing his job. So Ashley being upset about it, it is what it is. But then Andre's there again. Andre's always there when they're together, and Andre's taking pictures of the two of them together, but then he's looking at a picture of Ashley again. And I know I keep getting Kaiwan in the comments talking about how it's romantic and that Andre is romantic, but I don't see it that way. And I don't want to completely, I called him creepy last week. Maybe he's not creepy. Maybe he's just crushing on Ashley, and that's fine. I get it. I'm a Pisces. I've had my fair share of crushes in my life, but I would maybe feel better about it if Andre and Ashley actually had chemistry, but I just don't see it for them either, because as I stated yesterday, Andre clearly has chemistry with Dani, and he even has chemistry with Eva, who might turn out to be his cousin. So I need to see more of that chemistry with Andre and Ashley if I'm going to ever be able to enjoy the story. And then you have Derek having a nightmare that Ashley's telling him that she's in love with Andre, and then Andre's awkward in real life at the end of the episode, almost kissing Ashley. And so if this doesn't change Ashley's perception of Andre, I don't understand where they're going with this triangle, because the way they've depicted it so far is that Ashley's always talking about Andre when she's with Derek. And so if Derek starts to feel some kind of way, are we supposed to think that it's because of his concussion, or is it supposed to be because Ashley is always talking about Andre and she's actually really annoying in doing that? I kind of feel like the latter. So yeah, this whole triangle, worst part of the show. When I've been saying it all along, I don't feel any different. Not looking forward to it next week. It seems like it's going to get a lot of airtime next week, and there's only 3 episodes, so dislike it. That about summed up the episode. That was another week of Beyond the Gates. A lot to like, one story to dislike. I had Elaine in the comments yesterday talking about how I might have been a little harsh on the Dupree family and Naomi and their reactions and the way they might be underhanded in the way they approach things. And that Dani and Anita advised Naomi to forgive Jacob. And that's true. So fair point, Elaine. Like I said in the comments, though, I just don't like the writing for Naomi. And if you go back to like my first couple videos, Naomi was like one of my favorite characters off the bat, because I thought she was going to be written as this like logical hero type character in the Dupree family. And since then, that's just not what we've gotten. And it's starting to be a flaw overall for me with the show, with the characters, is that we got to start unraveling more about a lot of these characters. I think the Dani storyline got a lot of airtime in these first 3 weeks, and I get it is she's the most entertaining character. Kind of. I mean, I prefer Leslie and Eva personally. Like, they are my two favorite characters to watch so far, and Kat too, because all three of them are also great actresses. Not that Dani's acting isn't, good at times. But Dani's getting so much screen time because she's the driving force of drama. But I'm hoping we get more character development. We're getting more plot points than character development. Typical modern American soap opera. I get it. But I hope they start to work out the kinks to give us more about who these people are. Because they started Naomi as someone that's supposed to be, I get that she's mad at her father and all. And we haven't had interactions with her and Haley, which is a big miss from the show for me. But since the beginning, Naomi then becomes this character that gets mad at Jacob over his job. And I just feel like I don't know who Naomi is supposed to be. And I can say that for a lot of characters, which again is kind of why I really like Eva and Kat, because I do feel like their characters have been a little more established and a little more layered. Same with Dani. Most of their characters aren't getting those layers. It's like Doug and his gambling problem. We're missing layers from Doug. We're missing layers from Vanessa. And it's because they're not getting a lot of screen time. So I hope they can find a way to give their B and C storylines more airtime. Flesh that out more. Sometimes in these episodes, today was different, but most episodes, there's a lot of characters on at once. Like midway through an episode, suddenly we'll see Martin and Smitty or someone, and then we'll get more story from them. Today was more contained to a smaller cast. And I think maybe we need that. I don't need small scenes of Vanessa and Doug if they're not going to get a lot of screen time overall. I would rather have one episode where we get more airtime of them so that the characters can be fleshed out more. That's my main complaint besides the triangle. But overall, still love the show. Still something I look forward to every day. Having a soap opera to get lost in and get entertained by. But the triangle isn't entertaining, sorry.